Oh, this would be a perfect fucking video to start off my channel because I started working in 2021 in like July after I finished the inpatient rehab program. And I've had probably, I want to say, over 20 jobs since 2021. Yeah, bruh, 20 something. 20 something fucking jobs. So I definitely feel this. But let's get into it. Let's see what he's talking about. Cause yeah, I've been there.
So I already talked on Patreon at length about quitting my job recently, but I've actually quit two jobs in the past couple of years. In both instances, it was the same thing that drove me to making that decision.
I was gonna say this nigga look like a DMV nigga, and then I scrolled down to the description, and that shit said he was from fucking Atlanta. I was way off.
And in both cases, the decision was pretty sudden. Not reckless though. Like there's a difference. I think a lot of people characterize the decision to quit your job as reckless and irresponsible.
I mean, shit, for me, that shit was pretty reckless and irresponsible. That's why the fuck I'm over here trying to do this damn YouTube, nigga. I mean, nigga, it's just the amount of disrespect you have to tolerate for most jobs isn't worth it for me. Like, nigga, I'm not trading my soul for people who don't care. Like, what the fuck? And half the time, I work harder than everybody else in there, and the pay don't equate that. Like, if you work for Amazon, you gotta work twice as hard as somebody who's lazy, cause now I gotta do their work for them. Nah, bruh, like get that shit together, bro. Fire that man and find better workers. Why you they keep the lazy shitty delivery people and they just overwork the ones that can actually run a route, then they fire you if you complain. How that work, bro?
Of course, depending on your circumstances. In both cases, I had YouTube to fall back on, right? I
I did
was
not.
wildly
I
successful
did
out the
not.
gate last year, and it made me think that, this would continue on forever. Of course, that wasn't the case. It was irregular, it was unstable, like content creation typically is. And I learned what failure feels like, what subpar delivery and expectations feels like, how it works relating with sponsors and dealing with the pressures of having fans, having subscribers, having.
I ain't got no fans. I ain't got no subscribers. Niggas just trying to motherfucking relearn how to talk. Cause once you dolo for a certain amount of years and you always in your head, it's hard to say your thoughts out loud. So this is more me trying to relearn how to do that.
People waiting for you to release things, disappointing people, having their expectations not match your agenda or what you want to talk about, what you think is important. And also the comfort that comes along with being successful immediately out the gate and never
Yeah.
experiencing what it feels like to
Had to
have to
work
kind
your
of
way up, like
figure
really
out
climb. Yeah, figure it out,
how
bruh.
to be successful on this platform.
Damn, that must have been a different feeling. Your first upload, you getting thousands of views, you start getting money off of 5 videos or some shit, bro. I know that must feel good. But as soon as that shit go downhill, I know that shit didn't feel good. Hey, but more power to him. He's still doing it. This video ain't that
The
old.
main point of today's
He
video
just uploaded it not too long
is
ago. I think.
what jobs do to you, the pressure cooker that they put you inside of, and what effect that has on you over time.
What job you had, big bro?
I've always been a very prideful person, a very creative person,
And jobs do
and I've
not let you
always
have
put
that.
my
Don't let
self
you be creative.
actualization at the top of the list of priorities at all times. Throughout my corporate career, I had job after job after job in marketing agencies.
I should have knew it was corporate because like he's clean cut. Yeah, I got tattoos everywhere and I got long locks. You feel me? Like you got all this and tats everywhere. Dang, can't work no corporate job, buddy. I was over here doing manual labor and shit.
Specifically as a programmatic advertising expert. I didn't
Don't
start
even know
that
what
way. I
that
started
means.
with general ad operations and it got specialized over time. But throughout that entire journey, of doing those corporate jobs. From my 9 to 5, I would do that. And from 5 to 9, or realistically 2, 3 in the morning, I worked on music. I worked on marketing, learning Photoshop, learning Pro Tools, eventually picking up a camera to do my own music videos and do that for other people and clients. And so
Get
that
that money.
parlayed into me becoming a professional in two things: making music and making videos. And I fell in love with film to the same extent that music gripped me. To this day, I hear a dope beat and I'm like, I'm ready to write a song. I'm ready to start freestyling.
I gotta hear this nigga music because I can't see this nigga rapping, fool. I used to make music and I could barely see myself rapping, so I gotta hear something cause
A melody together, that type of thing. And I feel like I found my calling. I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do, but I had a winding road to get there. What jobs do is they apply so much pressure to every aspect of your life and every second of your free time that you feel pulled in multiple directions. You feel an inherent conflict between what drives you or what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel relevant and important to the planet as a whole and to the people you're around in your community. It makes you juxtapose that against what's allowing you to stay alive and what pays your bills.
yeah,
Most people never escape that tug of war.
I got lucky, bro. If I ain't have my parents, bro, like if I didn't have a support system, fool, I'd be hit. Like you gotta understand, I'd be hit because it was like, bro, I'm farther back than most people my age because of drug addiction, because of the things I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people, a lot of rappers, a lot of people on the streets talking about something they still running the game they jumped off the porch with, and it's like, bro, sometimes you get to a certain age, you gotta put the pride down. Like, it's not working out, bro. You're not who you thought you was, bruh. You gotta move on. You gotta grow up. You gotta do better. Know better, do better.
Right? It creates pressure, internal pressure that is never able to be released. In my opinion, it's the reason for a lot of the rise of the red pill, the rise of the black pill, the rise of people getting completely tired and wiped out by this system and lashing out at everyone around them and everything around them.
Bro, if that's Atlanta, bro, it looks exactly like DMV townhouses and like areas. Like, what the fuck?
I think there are people who find a healthy balance with day jobs, with corporate America, with companies that exist for nothing but to feed investors. Marketing agencies exist for no reason other than to make other companies money and to report week after week. This is how we did last week. These are the metrics that we improved on or didn't improve on, and here's why. And hey, client, please don't fire us. We tried our best, even though the numbers dipped a little bit this week or they don't look as strong as last year. Every week that I had to report that shit, all I could think to myself was, this does not matter. None of it.
That's a big thing to me too. Like, I gotta do things that kind of matter. Like, bro, one thing everybody in my family does, we like to help people, bro. Like, people make the world go round. Y'all know the song. People make the world go round. Dun, 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 dun. Like, it's the truth, bro.
matters. I could work in marketing agencies for the rest of my life. I can go back to that job anytime I want. So let's start there. But
Lucky.
even if I worked
Lucky.
there for 30 more years, what have I done in all those decades of working for somebody else to build somebody else's dream
Yeah.
and being undercompensated in the process? What have I
Undercompensated,
done
bro.
to fuel myself? And what disservice am I doing to myself and to my dreams to give you all of my time every day
Every day.
and not give it to myself?
And they dead ass will call you on your day off. And if you don't answer, they act like you're trash. You're scum of the earth for not wanting to work on your day off. Like, nigga, I just work 5 days a week. Why you want me to do 6, 7 now? It's like, bro. Or jobs that'll sit there and lie to you on the interviews and the and orientation. They tell you one thing, and then once you start working, you're doing something completely different. And when you say that or bring that up, boy, they gonna fire your ass. Crazy.
The past 6 months of having a full-time job, for a while there, it was a decent balance. I was able to put out my videos and make waves on the YouTube platform while having a job, and everything felt okay. But then my job overstepped. Something about
Mm.
marketing agencies, they have this thing called allocations, where a certain percentage of your time is supposed to be assigned to each account you're on, right? I was on a bunch of major accounts, and the thing that shifted is that my allocation for one of my accounts, which is over major clothing brands like K&G, stuff like that, Men's Warehouse, Joseph A. Bank. I was working with that
Yeah, cause
client,
I was about to
and
say,
all of a
fool, I don't know
sudden,
what
not
K
only am
and
I
G
not
is.
doing my core job function, I'm switched to like social marketing, which I don't want to do. I don't like social media. I'm gonna make a whole separate video about social media and why I'm not on any of the short form platforms anymore. I'm only on YouTube. Another topic. But all of a sudden, this
His job probably told him if he like he can't. Damn, he probably a part of that brand, whatever marketing job he has. So if he uses other social media and they find him on that, cause that's what they use, it's probably an issue. Cause damn near he they own him basically almost like not own you, but you know what I mean, bro. You sign them dotted lines, you sign them contracts, bro. They be talking crazy, bro. And the thing is, we black, and he in Atlanta, so he probably works for black people. But I'm in the DMV. I work for everything but black people. And it'd be like, bro, they talk to you crazy because they know they can't talk to you like that on the street, bro. So that shit used to irritate the shit out of me because it'd be like, bro, who are you actually speaking to? Like I just got fired from Amazon because this lady was talking crazy. You're built like a gerbil. Relax yourself, bro. But back to the video.
account that's supposed to take up 45 to 50% of my time is taking over all of my time. And anybody who's worked at marketing agencies will let you know that's how things work. They dominate your time and they don't care. It's like college when a professor gives you homework to the point where it's like, you know, I have other classes, right? That is what I was going through. And
Nah, you know what job really takes all your time? Working for crew lead. I used to crew lead for moving companies. So I've started from 2 Men in a Truck to A1 Moving to Sebastian Moving, and then I was working for JK Moving. And JK Moving's #1 in the country, bro. I was working 16-hour shifts, bro. We would get in at 6 a.m. I wouldn't get home till midnight. I wouldn't get home till midnight. We start at 6 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. depending how far you gotta drive, or you're doing interstate. It's like, bro, I was making good money. It was like $1,200 paychecks a week. $1,200, bro. And that's not including tips. So if I'm not doing military bases, if we're not moving people out of military bases, they have a lot of contracts with military bases. If we're not moving military bases, the people is paying us like $100 each for a tip. And it'd be like 8 of us, 2, 3 trucks moving these houses. Yo, I ain't even gonna hold you. If you see them JK moving trucks, bro, just know whatever they're moving, them houses and them people that they moving, they got money, bro. It's like 430, 450 an hour. Not $4.50, $450 an hour. And I just told you this crap be taking the entire day, 12 plus hours. I don't think the driving, from what I remember, the driving, like, once you load the truck and you drive into where they're moving to, that I don't think that time counts. But yeah, the actual moving process, putting in the truck and taking the stuff out of the truck, yeah, they have to pay for those hours, and them families be buying you lunch. They'll buy everybody lunch, bro. They got money, bruh. Like, you gotta have money for them type of services. But the difference be, we gotta lay down mats for our feet. We literally cover the wall so you're not dinging people walls when you moving couches up and down or dressers up and down the stairs. You gotta wrap all the furniture. So you pad wrap it, then you put the saran wrap on it. Cause you know some companies they adjust saran wrap it, some of them they just pad wrap it, and you can't really pad wrap without the strings. You need these like jock strings, these I said jock strings like rubber band like stretchy string things that you have to put on the furniture to keep the padding on. So it's like, bro, it's a lot, bruh. But you get you get paid a lot, but you have no free time, bro. And you work like 6 days a week, bruh. So like you get swole off that shit, bro. But I was on drugs when I was doing it. So all the money I was making, I was spending it just as fast. So it's like when you doing work to get high, then you have to get high to do the job, or your money is gone just as fast as you get it. So it was a rough time, bro.
And I was being trained on things, being taught how to do things, and then like 15 minutes later, it's like, oh, by the way, we need you to send this to the client in 15 minutes. The thing we just taught you how to do. And it's, look, I'm a fast learner, but
Mm-hmm.
I've also made a lot of mistakes in my corporate career, and I've learned over job after job after job
That
to take my time
adaptability.
when I'm learning
Yeah.
how to do something, get the fundamentals strong, and then perform.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to pressure me like that, leading into Black Friday, no less.
Because they know they can. People can see another's latent ability, as in like your adaptability. They can tell when you can adapt to things fast. So when I get a job, I always end up in a higher position, getting paid the same amount as the next person, but I have to do more because they believe I can do more. It's not right, honestly, but it's what happens, bro. And that's a big reason why I end up leaving jobs, because it's like you put so much pressure on me so fast and expected me to perform better than someone who's been there for 6 years and I've been here for 2 months. Like I used to drive for FedEx. I actually got banned from the grounds for getting into it with the security. But within my first month, I was training other people. My first month at that job, I was training other people on how to deliver. You shouldn't even be working FedEx if you don't know how to deliver, fool.
To crank
Like
out
you
these
can't run
ad
a route.
campaigns just because they
Mm-mm.
didn't have anybody else, not tell me that they were putting me on this account in the first place, just slide me onto it, knowing how much work it was going to be and knowing how much of a shakeup it was going to be to my routine, is unfair,
Mm-hmm.
inappropriate, unacceptable, and grounds for me to reconsider my position here. You fundamentally changed the nature of my job, the job I interviewed for, and
Mm-hmm. What
then
I just told you
you
that.
apply so much pressure to the point where I essentially have to start doing overtime for free. And that's all salaries are. They're a carrot on a stick to make sure you perform beyond what you're getting paid for. Jobs know better. They have whole teams of people that help construct these policies. Unlimited PTO is a scam designed to psychologically manipulate you into taking less PTO. Because if it's infinite, but they have to approve it, is it really infinite? No. And they know that.
Yeah.
And studies have shown that people take less PTO when it's unlimited. That's why it's being rolled out so often.
Mm.
Similar with the rest of these tactics, the rest of the things they roll out in the guise of being a employee first or family first company, don't buy into any of it.
At all.
Companies exist to view you as a unit of economic benefit, for
Yeah.
lack of a better word.
Dog, y'all can't tell me this is Atlanta because this shit looks like townhouses in Gaithersburg or some shit, like, or condos in Gaithersburg. Like, it look like they around the way for real. Oh, well, that's parts of down south, so they got, like, you know, trees and wooded areas, so it's like, it's foresty out there. It's not just the city.
I needed to reclaim my time. I needed my time back. If I'm going to be underpaid and have to depend on myself anyway to make ends meet, I would rather go all in on something that I control fully and that I actually care about and that I feel makes an impact on people
Yes,
and that
sir.
people have told me makes an impact on them than to waste away literally the most important, most productive hours of every single day for y'all. You are not worth it and you do not deserve it. I'm not even going to go all the way into the passive aggressiveness and the pettiness and coworkers going behind my back to snitch on
Oh
me.
my God, these house niggas, bro. Oh my God, I lost a job off of that, bro. They, bro, it's me and this nigga from Baltimore. We talking about street shit while we pat rapping furniture. We talking about some street shit, and the foreman, which is a black dude with a beard from DC, right? I'm from Silver Spring, Maryland. We talking about what we talking about. And he hop in the conversation. He said, "Well, my OG said, nah, don't be fucking with that." I said, "Slim, fuck your OG, bro. Look him dead in his eyes. Fuck your OG, bro." Nigga smooth snitched on me, and like I said, I was doing drugs at the time. So 2 weeks later, I get called into the office and they tell me to go take a drug test. Not because I came to work high, looking high, I fucked up or nothing. No, because one person tried to jump into some conversation and thought we was just gonna hear whatever he had to say because he was the foreman. Bro, shut up and do your work and leave me the fuck alone. Because me and Cuz is talking while we working. If you don't want, if you can't handle it, go somewhere else and work on another part of the house, bro. Like that shit was crazy, bro.
In my
Really
first
made
week
him
on an
feel that
account for not doing
emasculated.
something at the time they wanted it done because I'm trying to be careful and I'm trying to be thorough, I'm tired, bro. I am more qualified in more areas of life to perform more tasks than everybody at this company. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not even bragging on myself. It's a hard fact. I have more skills in more areas than everybody I've ever worked with.
That adaptability, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's why people like him and me and others out here, you already know, we can all get jobs like that, bro. As soon as I get the interview, I got the job. It's just getting the interview. You know what I mean? And you know, most jobs don't even exist anymore. Everything's just to take your information. So you go on Indeed, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, ZipRecruiter, all of them post the exact same jobs and they're all trying to just take your information. You're not going to get an interview date. You're not going to get a call back. It's just going to, you're just going to start getting spam in your email and you're going to start getting spam text messages and calls. Like, I've worked so many jobs in this, in a 15 to 25-mile radius from my house. There's only door to door salesman jobs left. I literally cannot get a job around the way anymore. I don't have a car right now. So for me to get a job, I would literally have to have a car because I have to be in another state to work. There's a lot more to this when it comes to why. Because where I live, there's endless restaurants and stuff around here, but they don't hire black. But I'll say that for another video, y'all. We gonna finish out with Big Brody and let him talk his shit for real. But there's a lot of things going on that people aren't noticing.
And so for me to take that on the chin week after week after week, month after month, year after year, there is a breaking point.
There
And
is.
I am always a person who bets on themselves. I always have been. And that doesn't stop now. So it took
Always bet on black.
one meeting where I was being reprimanded for something somebody snitched on me about during the first week on my account. And in the middle of that one-on-one meeting with my coach slash supervisor, I was like, you know what? I'm quitting. This is my last day. And of course, I get the ramifications of that decision. So I sat with it for a little while. I didn't move immediately, but I gave it about 15 minutes. And I had a conversation with my mom, and she helped me consider all the angles. But ultimately, she supported me. And I think that's the crucial thing. If you feel like you're ready, if you feel like this is something you need to do for yourself, and you have a
Mm-hmm.
plan, You have something to do. You have action to take to make sure you can float for however many months or float forever, right? And be successful and build on that. Then you need to jump. Now is the time, because if it's not now,
When you gonna
it'll
do it?
be years going by without you actually taking action. Most people hesitate
Hesitate hard,
before jumping
bro.
off that cliff, and most people never actually make the jump. So if I'm here for anything, it's to tell you that if you got a dream, if you got a vision that's clear and articulated, and you're starting to put action into place, or you've been doing it for years like I was, jump. Jump.
I'm gonna say this. Even if you don't got a plan that's fully envisioned and mapped out, take that leap of faith. Faith is a lot more than what people think. Like, you need that. If you have a strong soul, that's because you have faith in something too. Like, not just yourself. Like, you have to believe. Like, doesn't I'm not necessarily speaking about God, anything of that sort, but you don't know what comes next. You're not omnipotent. You don't know what's next. You just gotta go for it, bruh. But luckily, I had the support system to be able to say, nah, this isn't me. I'm gonna find something else. Like, I may be farther behind than others, but what I want, by the time I get it, I will be satisfied with my life. While others are still doing things just for the money. You know what I mean?
If you need advice, ask for it. If you need a mentor, ask for it. But you got to stop giving your life to
To
people
others.
who will replace you if you die tomorrow. It's a simple calculus to me. These people fundamentally do not care about me. So I'm going to give my time and my energy and my passion and my anxiety and my stress
Mm-hmm.
to something that fulfills me on a daily basis and makes me feel whole, makes me feel complete, and makes me feel seen. And I don't mean seen in terms of fame. I let go of trying to be famous a long time ago. And even when I was on the rise last year and people were visibly super excited about everything I released, it did feel like I was like a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the more popular black creators in the bread tube space for a chunk of last year. It felt like I was on a literal rocket ship, but fame is fleeting,
Mm-hmm.
and it isn't about who you actually are. Like, y'all don't know me. You know what I put out into the world and what I tell you about myself. And so while I appreciate the compliments and whatnot, I'm always keeping it in the lens of you appreciate my work and you appreciate the angles you've seen me from. But you don't know me. You don't know the stress. You don't know the constant anger that I deal with, that I'm constantly suppressing
Yes, sir.
and crafting into, a formula to make sure I'm delivering my thoughts clearly and
Yeah.
not letting the anger show as much. But I'm literally always angry, whether it's at the world that I have to deal with, whether it's at the government, politics, whether it's at these goddamn jobs that have stolen my young adulthood for the most part. I'm always angry. And there's times where I'm joyful, and that allows the anger to be channeled in a healthy way
Yes,
because
sir.
making things makes me happy. So it's the only thing I think there that exists that I can pour myself into fully, and it pours back. It's an incredible feeling that I hope everybody gets to experience. But if there's anything in the world that makes you that happy and kills your sense of constant anger just a little bit, take the leap. Build the plane on the way down and figure out how to fly it. Because the one thing you will
That
not
was
regret
real.
when you're
Build the plane on the way down and learn how to fly. Hey, on God, cause you take that leap of faith, bro. Cause I know for a fact, bro, ain't no way I was gonna be able to do the regular world the way everybody else do it. Cause I'm not a regular person. You know what I mean? So shout out my man, Cam James, and Crash Outs. Definitely go peep his video. I just want to give a shout out to all y'all, all my Lordians. You know what I mean? We all guys. We all out here. We doing what we gotta do to survive. But once you get past the do what you gotta do what you want. Do what you want, bruh. Peace.